Somebody said, all this time is wasted. It's not wasted. We're moving on, feeling like we're weightless, so weightless.
Oh yes, we're flying a drone today. What is up people, Dunna here, and today, as you just saw and heard, we're going to be flying a drone, and if you're anything like me, you may never have flown a drone before. Yes, I said it, this is going to be my maiden voyage as far as drones go. The folks over at Autel Robotics were nice enough to sponsor this video and send me out this drone so that I could try out and see what droning is all about. The goal with this video is going to be to kind of give you a primer on what your first time might be like if you're thinking about picking up a drone, some of the things that you can do to try and learn how to fly a drone, and basically you're gonna watch me fumble through that whole process so that hopefully you don't have to as much. Also, we're gonna take a look at the Autel Evo and see what it's capable of. Now, one thing that I wanna say before we actually get this up in the air is that there are some things that you need to do before you actually start flying your drone. Let's say you pick up an Autel Evo, you're super excited about it. First of all, make sure you charge up all the batteries and the controller. Second of all, make sure you go register your drone. And third, make sure you go take a look at the laws surrounding drones for wherever you are. In Canada, the drone laws are pretty strict, and as of June 1st, they're getting even more strict. So I made sure to go and read through the rules and make sure that I'm not breaking any of them. I found a nice wide open space. I think I should be okay here if I'm understanding the rules correctly. And for today, I'm not gonna be doing anything crazy. I'm gonna be keeping it pretty low and just doing some basic maneuvers. With that said, let's get this drone out. So this, as I mentioned before, is called the Autel Evo. And when it's unfolded, it looks something like that. The package that I got was called the Rugged package, and it comes with a couple extra batteries. That's just the charger, some cables, and then of course the controller so that we can control the drone. One other thing that Autel sent along were the Polar Pro ND filters, which is super handy because then I won't have to crank up the shutter speed to get proper exposure. Also, absolutely love Polar Pro stuff. And the Rugged package comes with this awesome SKB case. I'm pretty sure you could throw this off a mountain, but please don't test that. Now, taking a look at the drone itself, it's got a 3-axis gimbal on the front. It's got sensors on the front, the bottom, and in the back for the obstacle avoidance, which is super handy, especially for people like me who might run into things. If you do want to put an ND filter on, it's pretty cool because all you have to do is unscrew this front glass and screw your ND filter on. You're ready to go, shooting in the sun. One of the other cool things is the controller. First of all, it folds up really tiny. It's got these nice little handles, it's got your phone holder, and it's also got an OLED screen right on it where you can either see your flight stats or you can actually see the picture coming from the drone, which is really cool because you don't actually need a phone to operate this. In general, from what I found, it seems like most people enjoy it more if they use this for the flight information and then put their phone up here. You get a little bit more screen real estate with the phone to be able to see what's coming off of the drone camera. All right. Because this is my first time flying a drone, I thought it would probably be a good idea to have some kind of plan of what I'm hoping to accomplish here. And I found a really cool video actually on the Autel YouTube channel that went over a bunch of really basic maneuvers. So I have a list of about 8 things that I want to try and do while we're here, starting from just taking off and landing to a couple of maneuvers and then using some of the cool functions that come with the drone app. So first things first, let's see if we can even get this thing to take off. Okay, so I've got the drone all set up, I turned it on, and I've got my iPhone attached to the controller. So up here, I can see what the camera sees, and down here, I can see all my flight controls. Let's just try a simple takeoff. There's a button right here that I'm gonna press and hold. I think it was for 3 seconds, and it's just gonna do all the work for me. So let's try this. I'm gonna start the motors. The controller says safe to fly. Pressing takeoff. There we go. And we're up. I'm actually impressed with how quiet this thing is. I thought it was gonna be way louder. Okay, so the first thing that I wanna do is just land it. So I'm gonna hold down that same button again. Very carefully. Okay, we have a successful takeoff and landing. So the next maneuver that we wanna do is a forward, back, left, and right. And what we wanna eventually be able to do is a square. Let's give that a try. Taking off. I'm gonna go forward. Oh, that's up. Let's go forward. Left. Back. Nice and soft. And right. Okay, so far I'm ridiculously impressed with how simple this is. The controls are really intuitive. The right joystick is going forward, back, left, and right, and then the left joystick is going to turn the actual aircraft itself and bring it up and down. So the next pattern that we want to do is the same thing, another square pattern, but first we're going to turn the drone around, so you're actually kind of flying it backwards. So when you press left, it's gonna go right. When you press right, it's gonna go left. Same thing with forwards and backwards. Okay, so I'm gonna spin it around first using the left joystick. So it's now facing the opposite way. I'm gonna start by going backwards. Hey, you can see me. And then go right, which is my left. I'm actually having so much fun right now. And forward. And left, which is gonna go right over me. And then back. All right, another maneuver done. Now the next thing on the checklist is a vertical square. So instead of going forward, left, back, and right, we're gonna go up, left, down, and right. So I'm gonna be keeping an eye on my flight controls to see what height I'm going up to. And what I wanna do is try and bring it up to, let's say, 12 meters, and then over, and then back down to 6 meters, and then back over. So I kind of land in the same spot. So I'm gonna bring it up to 6 meters to start with. There we go, I'm at 6 meters. Okay, now I'm gonna go up to 12 meters. There we go. I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna bring it back down to 6 meters again. And then I'm gonna go right. Vertical square, good to go. So the next one is, I think, where we start to get really tricky. So what we want to do is make a circle pattern. So I'm actually going to try and circle around my 360 camera that I have set up to capture this whole thing. And you want to try and keep it in a nice, even circle. So using this controller on the top left corner, I've pointed the camera down so it's looking directly at that 360 camera. And now the goal is going to be to try and orbit around it, but manually. So it seems like with the orbit, there's just like a nice touch that you have to find. Basically, you're pushing each controller in opposite directions to try and counteract the fact that it's moving one way, so you're turning it to keep that subject in the center. So it's all about finding the right touch for that so that it does it smoothly. I'm gonna try and go the other way now. It's just like a video game. It's not quite just like a video game, but it's, you know, I mean, I've got like a video game controller. Okay, so the orbit thing is gonna take some time and practice to get a really nice shot out of it. But one thing that you can do is actually an auto orbit. So you kind of choose your point, it'll just automatically do the orbit for you. So something fun is happening. It said something about my current charge only has enough to do something, and it's just going up. So it's running out of battery. It went up high enough to, I think, find me or something, and then it came back over to me, and now it's letting me land it. Time to change a battery, I guess. So the battery is just this button right here. All you do is press it, slide it off, you're good to go. I'm gonna go get another one. Now, while we're on the topic of changing batteries, I mentioned before that I had something called the Rugged package, and it comes with that nice big case and a couple of extra batteries. The price on the Autel Evo is what really is making it be talked about in the industry. It has some pretty awesome features comparatively to the competitors, and it's cheaper at the same time. You're looking at $1,000 for the basic package, and you're looking at about $1,200 for the Rugged package. The competitors that have similar products are at least a couple $100 more than that, so the value is definitely here. Another thing that this drone has that a lot of the other ones don't is it has 4K at 60 frames per second, so you can do 4K in slow motion. A lot of like big cameras don't even have that yet. Now, it is a typical kind of small sensor camera, so you're not gonna get the same quality out of it as you would a mirrorless or DSLR camera, but from what I've seen in other reviews and stuff, the footage looks really good. And they let you shoot in log, which is really nice, especially on big open blue sky days like this where it's super bright out. So overall, this has been a really great first experience flying a drone. It's way easier than I thought it was going to be. There is definitely going to be a learning curve to be good at it, but I think as far as like simple controls to get it up off the ground and to be able to move it around, it's not that bad. I can't wait to get a little bit more use out of it and get used to flying it a little bit more and to see what kind of cool footage can come out of it. Now, I want to get one more shot before I go. This is a classic one that you see a lot of the time where it swoops up and away, so I should just be able to hit the up and the back and have it swoop away from me. Let's see. But as always, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of flying drones. Have you ever flown one before? Do you have any thoughts on them or any tips? I definitely could use some tips. Thanks again to Autel Robotics for sponsoring this video and sending out the Evo. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.